the day. And this will be presented by Ms. Juleen Fatiaki, the Principal State Counsel for the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutors in Fiji. And she will be presenting on the Vicarious from a perspective of prosecutor. Welcome, Juleen.
And all the people, what we've heard of the last year, that it's really enlightening, inspiring, aspirational people. Okay. And so my thanks. And I also want to congratulate the committee on the guidelines. It is a crisp document, and I really look forward to see how we can adapt it here in the future, where there are some gaps in our process already. I want to talk about vicarious from the prosecutor's perspective. And I said it to a few people when I was not, I didn't know what to say. Because we had we're more used to dealing with other people and their trauma, and there's so I don't like it, it's actually not easy to stand here and say, one, yes, I have done it for my colleagues. But as I reflect on my prosecutorial practice, I think the lesson that I've learned along the way that I can share. You know, and it's funny, because we were talking about Eleanor, and I look back at the situation that I went through and how it was that we got through it. And so, excuse me if the details are a little bit distressing, but I think it's important that I share it because one, it highlights the importance of the guidance, the importance of the risk assessment. And then it's important to the trauma. I think, and then I'll get back to the So when I was a prosecutor, I was in my city of practice, and I was posted out to the West Division. And at that point, I was being, and mind you, I should probably say that was the first job that I had straight out of school. I graduated, got a little on a Friday, started working on it. And we were doing very minor bits, but we was traffic. Then I got transferred out to the West in my second year. And the first job that was given to me was involving the rape of a young child, she was 9, and the perpetrator was his stepfather. And I was very busy. So the first time I met this child, and I had inherited this child, we had gone through the system over a period of about 3 years. The first time I met this child was on a Friday, the trial was on a Monday. I met this child in my office on Friday afternoon with her mother. She spoke English, basically I don't speak English. We met for about 30 minutes. And within that 30 minutes, I said to her, I'm sorry, it's going to happen. I will see you Monday. So Monday morning, child runs up to court with her mother. I should probably mention her mother was an amputee. And she comes to court, she gives evidence in the courtroom. We use the screen of the perpetrator. And while she's giving evidence, I was about to conclude my examination. The defense counsel stands up and said, there hasn't been a doc ID. I said, well, there's no need for a doc ID. You know, this is someone known to her, it's no evidential value. The judge insisted on a doc ID. So I turned to the child and I said, I'm going to have to remove the screen. And when I say that to her, and what's going to happen thereafter, she went hysterical. Okay. The judge adjourned the proceeding. I had to explain to her, we're going to have to do this. We came back to court, the screen was removed, she pointed to the perpetrator. Okay, done. Tick box. Cross-examination, he was eventually convicted essentially. Last time I saw the trial was that afternoon after she left the courthouse. You know, we had given some witness allowance, the mother to go home. A few months passed, and then I received a call. Investigating officer, you remember this child? Yes. Well, we found this child remains. Well, in the sewer next to her house. What happened? And then, eventually the file came into my desk. What had happened was her mom, who was an empty, had gone home. Over the course of the next few months, she was quite frustrated with this child, and we got all this information from the mother's record, where the child was quite feces on the wall, with panties. Obviously, she was exhibiting some extreme form of, trauma. And so the mother, frustrated, one day ties her up with the sister's arm, beats her until she dies. Then she, they try to get rid of the body. An 8-year-old child was there. She witnessed all this unfold. Her sister. And in fact, they made the sister help going by the kerosene so they could burn the body and the remains. So that file was on my table. The mother pled guilty to murder. And she had her own problems. Like I said, she was an amputee. When you read her record of interview and the police, though, she characterized suicide immediately. The aunt eventually was prosecuted, and she was convicted. And there's another element to this story. The sister, the 8-year-old, was removed from that house, and she went to live with her older brother, who was the husband of the aunt that had been prosecuted. And it came out later on that he started to rape her. So not only did that child have to see her sister be murdered, not only did she have to help get rid of her sister's remains, she then was a victim of sexual abuse. And she gave evidence to trial ultimately, and he was also convicted of that. But when I reflect on what has been talked about yesterday and today, we're looking at the guidelines. I mean, have we had those risk assessments? Had we ensured that there was a witness support officer from the start? Had we ensured that they met the child at the very beginning, they ascertained what was the needs of the family and not just the child? Had the proper support been given, it would have made the difference between life and death. Literally. And it took me, coming to Vicarious trauma, I never spoke about this for a very long time. You just go on with work, you don't have time to stop and think. And it took me some time. And one day I was sitting, I had been transferred back to school, I was in charge now of the general parents division. And there was a session on victim and witness support. Someone was talking about why it's important to have support. But you know that you have to say something. And after that session, the person who conducted it, in fact, was our assistant director. And after that session, I approached her. And said, I have something to tell you. And then we discussed this. And that was a Friday. And on Monday, she came into my office and she said, we're going to stand back and we're going to say, what can we do as an office to ensure that this does not happen to another child when the other witness comes to this. And that's where our journey began. And sorry, it's not all doom and gloom, okay? I wanted to pay respect to those children. And I think I'm happy to say in all of this, because we've done a lot as an office, how we now it's a trauma-informed project. What I said to you yesterday, Dr. AJ, I completely bought into it, and I absolutely believe that it needs to be trauma-informed. You put in all these cases at every level, whether it's the police station, whether it's prosecutors, the victim support officers, the judiciary, we all need to understand what is trauma. how it manifests, so that we can see it for ourselves, how it may impact us. And like I said, I mean, there's goodness to all of that. You know, and I like to think that we've honored her death in a big way. Because honestly, when I look at the children who come to my office now, and it's not fair, but they leave happier than when they first entered our office. And that's a collective effort of everybody who's been involved in their care, right up to the division. With the support from the Women's Crisis Center, we all have a part to play in that process. It's an important part, but we must never, ever lose sight of the fact that we're not dealing with case file. We're dealing with real people, real children. And that our approach to them is to be one in which we would do with our own children. Get nervous because the room is quiet. On understanding trauma, what we did as an office. So, you know, the victim impact statements, the sentencing court considered, they usually say, there's a psychological trauma, but it's never evidence-based. In our case, anyway, so what we did, we brought in a clinical psychiatrist from the University of Stanford, and he came in and he interviewed different people, but he also worked in an active case. And this case was down where he imposed a life sentence the first time for the kids free. And just an interesting side note, as this psychiatrist was asking these women questions in order to fill in victim impact and things like that, we had an interpreter next to the women, and the interpreter was great. She was crying, she was interpreting for these women, you know, and those are other things, the justice system that we tend to forget about. Our interpreters, court clerks, you know, they also, you know, it's traumatic having to hear these things. And we talk about giving, you know, assistance to lawyers, we talk about all these other people in that process. So just something for you to think about, and go back home and say thank you to your interpreters in the podcast. They play a big role in this too. We have been going on and on at the office. We speak about it publicly all the time about specialized training. And so it was great to get the council to say that training. So that's definitely something that we've been talking about. I think we're working with folk also. They're getting training how to handle their children, vulnerable witnesses. We've also been in talks with the Legal Aid Commission. You know, if you need help, we're not saying we're experts, okay. You know, we're willing to come in and speak. But you see, sorry, we're back to the report about the gathering prepared, the next report for the 16 submissions. But that report was then used to move the Supreme Court to increase the tariff rate. Because what that report was talking about was the mental health outcomes for someone subject to rape, whether it was a child or an adult, and it's evidence-based at the time. So the Supreme Court increased our tariff rate. But in a way, we were also able to then educate the judiciary, educate the public about trauma. And I think it has been quite successful because, you know, lawyers now are having these conversations. You know, what is a trauma-informed approach? In fact, like some senior lawyers are telling the whole society, we want to be free. Please free us. And so just coming back to what the professor has said, tell us more. You know, not only are we, you know, dealing with our trauma, we're also finding solutions just by talking and sharing. And that's why when I received like the program for what we're going to talk about, you know, this 3 days, you know, that I said to Jason, like, oh my God, congratulations, wow. And I meant it. Here's what we're doing. You know, and it's such an important, like, coming for us to be having these conversations. And that's it. At the end of the day, the truth is going to be going back home and implementing everything that we've learned here. And from our experiences, it's possible. You know, despite the lack of resources, we just have to make a commitment to doing something, to making a change. And collaboration obviously is important. You know? So if I can be any assistance, I don't know if I know all the answers, but please call me, email me, message me. Vicarious trauma from a prosecution perspective, yes, you will get traumatized if it's lived. But as Professor said, it's all about finding coping mechanisms. What works for you? You know, as to be, I practice what I do. I like to see the good in the world. I recently took up tennis, but I didn't do tennis. Not yoga, but tennis. But yeah, and also one of the biggest things for me that I found that gives me a little bit of strength is reminding myself what I'm fighting. Not what I'm fighting against. We can't help children. It's reminding myself what I'm fighting for. These children, these women, these people going through this, and as prosecutors and like law enforcement officers, we're very lucky in the sense that it's very rare that your career and your purpose and the line is so close to you. And that's something that helps me go on from day to day. I feel grateful that I'm in a position to do the work that I do. And like I said, I don't want to end on a somber note, but I thought that experience was important to share, so that you see the benefits of the guidelines. The risk assessment forms absolutely amazing. I can't wait to use them. I said to my colleague here from PhD last night that we mentally do this risk assessment when we read a file. I that it's in black and white, it's going to be on the file forever, and whatever comes up to us, I'm going to pick it up and add it. So thank you very much. I want to say thank you to my colleagues on particularly your hard work. It's not in vain. So thank you everybody for listening to me. Thank you for your time. My colleague from the police force, the Fisi, wants to share something with the group, and I think it's only right. Because at the end of the day, this is going to be our only person speaking. So of course, yesterday, please everyone, you can get a job.
In fact, I was talking too much last night. My colleague said we present tomorrow. We had such a great presentation today from all of you. I don't know how I should tell it. I'll give it a try. And because I was just told last night, I don't have a power. Anyway, I just want to talk about my experience with domestic violence case when I was a constable back in the days. I'm talking about many decades ago, where I think most of you were born. I was a young constable, and this was the first day at work. I was doing afternoon shift. And afternoon shift starts from 3 p.m. till 11, before midnight. And then it was around 8 o'clock when a lady came. She entered the police station. She was covered with blood. And she just fainted at the door. So my supervisor was the corporal, old man. He directed us in. Let's take this lady to us. So half hour to the lady, there were 6 of us on duty at that night. So 3 took the lady while I was on standby. And then my corporal said, you go to this house, you take the other officer, and you arrest her. The lady has been a victim of assault. Without the lady telling us, it's from our house. Go to a house, arrest the husband. So we went. Because it's our area of operation, we know the place. We went to the house, and there, the husband was very drunk. And I don't know whether he assaulted her or not, but I just arrested him, took him to the station, locked him in the cell. While at the station, another lady came. She came and she said, I want to report against my husband. He assaulted. This was about 1 hour ago. We all looked at her. There's no visible injury. But then we just gave her the medical report, which is part of our job, for her to take it to the doctor. Off she went. Towards the end of our shift, both ladies came. The second one persisted that we charged her. So we proceeded, took a statement, sent the team to go and arrest the husband. The medical report says knee injuries. But the other lady, my corporal directed me to take a statement down. So I wrote a statement in between. She's an Islander. She was married for 10 years at the time to this old man. They were about 17 years different. And she came from the island with her daughter. And both of them lived with her husband, the then husband. So I was taking a statement until the end. And then I said, okay, we are going to charge your husband and we'll produce him. The lady got a shock. Where's my husband? And I told him, he's in the cell. It's not in the cell. And the lady started crying. She begged us, don't charge my husband. He's the only sole breadwinner. I came from the island. I don't have any relative at all here in Sudan. And he's been very, very loving to my daughter. And that time the daughter was 10 years old. You know, we were caught in a crossfire. And this was, like I said, it was many, many months ago. So don't hold me accountable. But my corporal called all 6 of us, and we were all young officers. He sat us down and he gave us a few questions. One, any one of you willing to share your salary with this lady for the next few months? No one answered. I wasn't married at the time, I was young. And he said, Fisi, why don't you take this lady home? Look after her, maybe 3 months, and then she'll be back home. I couldn't do it. No, I cannot just take anyone home. And the corporal said, we are facing reality. And I have to go to the facing. You must remember, the food on the table must carry on. The child is going to eat tomorrow morning. The child will need something. Anyway, that was many, many years ago. I ended up one of those who drafted neutral policy in the police. And the neutral policy in the police means we are not allowed to settle the matter at the station level. We cannot promote reconciliation at the station level. That's our law. It's not about proceeding to court. It's about you're not allowed to settle the matter. That means you must complete the investigation. You must collect all the documents. And if there's sufficient evidence, you proceed. That's the no drop policy that we have. But all these years, every time I go past something, I always stand there going, ask how are you? Are you still together? But years later, I came back and I saw this 10-year-old girl, she was already in high school, and I could tell that she was in good shape, still living around the thing. But I still question myself, and that night, make the right decision. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your attention. That's the no drop policy that we have. It's about not settling the matter at the station. Thank you.